Listen, I know most of us are not EV people, but let me introduce you to something pretty cool, but also terrible. This is a Fisker Ocean. Yes, Fisker. You have probably never even heard of that brand, unless you're in the EV world. And this is their EV's SUV. It's a pretty nice ride. I'll be honest, this is about as close as you're gonna get to something like a actual wagon still built in the United States. This is built, I believe, in California now. Well, at least it was until those guys just went bankrupt. Kaput, poof, gone. They are no more, which is interesting because Fisker did that once before. They used to build a beautiful, beautiful Fisker Karma, gorgeous looking car. And then they went belly up. Because not always is the guy that designs cars and the guy that has the idea the guy that should probably be running a car company. But what makes it even sadder, more annoying and more terrible is the fact that these things were like 70,000, mid-70s a year ago. And now they're 20s, mid to low $20,000. Can you imagine a $50,000 depreciation on a brand new car? Good Lord. Ouch. Now why? Well, it's tied into that whole situation of going bankrupt because this thing has no parts supply. If you are to ding, dent, damage, crash, somehow injure this thing, you can't get parts for it. You can't fix it. It's going to go to the body shop and it's going to get totaled out. You cannot get pieces and parts and bits and pieces for this thing because the company is kaput, finito, no more, done. And the interesting thing is, apparently there were maybe some not so above board situations happening with the financing on these things. And I'm not going to get into that because I don't really want to get sued. But it's interesting, and you could do your own research if you're interested in it, that these vehicles were sold in the $70,000 range and were financed. And now they just are worth very little. I'll be honest, I would probably own one of these things. I rather like it. I think EVs have a great position in automotive and in trucking, to be honest with you. I think they make a lot of sense. For something that's gonna be just a commuter car or a commuter SUV, I guess you wanna call it, to be able to go from point A to point B and be able to do what you need to do, what kind of a fantastic work truck would this be for me? If I'm just bouncing around picking up stuff, dropping off parts and picking up stuff from all over the place. Same thing with these guys. That FedEx truck right there, why isn't that EV? All it does is go to a loading dock or a cross dock, pick up boxes, and then drive around all day in the city, dropping off pieces. And then it goes right back to the dock. You build your charging infrastructure into the dock, and there you go. You don't have to worry about it. It's not like those guys are out grabbing gasoline. Makes sense. It's not for fun, but it does make a lot of sense for a commuter, A to B kind of thing. I'm not gonna buy one of those things. A Tesla? Not happening. For a number of reasons. Not happening. They don't have the styling. They really haven't done anything. They built Tesla up and it's there and they don't really innovate. They haven't really done anything. They haven't made anything more attractive. This is a beautiful looking vehicle. Look at this thing. It is a really nice vehicle. The styling is nice. The fitment is nice. The panel gaps are nice. I like the lighting. It's a nice looking vehicle. There you go, Fisker Ocean. Fisker. It's a good looking vehicle. It looks like something that would have an internal combustion. Honestly, it looks a bit like a Range Rover if I was honest. Great cars. I think that's a great option over a Tesla. Unfortunately, it's not a great option over a Tesla because they're out of business. And I can't imagine being that person. Unfortunately, this person's a very good customer of ours that gets stuck with one of these things and can't buy it. But I think for my world, it'd be great for me. Maybe I need to look into buying one of these for myself. Become my new work truck. Rich! I need something like this. Again, I think EVs have their place. They're not fun. They're not evocative. Well, they can be fun, but they don't have a spirit. They don't have anything that's fun. You know, there's nothing that makes them interesting. They don't make sounds. They don't make vibrations. They don't make smells. There's nothing there. They just jetson you on the way. They don't even. But for something that you're going to use to just get around town with, or that you can do short runs with, makes a ton of sense. No more gas bills. There's very few moving parts in these things other than brakes and and tires. There's not a lot that can go bad with them, physically speaking. So your cost of upkeep is actually fantastically low. They just don't have a soul. They don't have a spirit. I think this is a fantastic option for a wagon. I love it. I might make it a little bit lower, but I love it. And I'm a wagon kind of guy. You can see my wagon, 2 more of my wagons right there. I think it's a great idea. It's a great vehicle. I would love to own one, except for I wouldn't want to own one because I don't want to get screwed if somebody is texting and driving and runs into me and hits me in the butt, or stops short, or hits me in the door. I can't imagine that. You can't fix your car. Sorry, sir, the parts are not available. On a car that you just bought last year? On a 2024? Woof. Oofda. That's kind of rough. I don't know. Is we at an interesting point in the EV evolution? EVA revolution? I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Are we at an interesting point right now where these things have seen their heyday and they're going to kind of go the other direction? Is it something where we culturally are changing enough that these don't appeal to many people anymore? Clearly, Tesla's having a rough time of things right now. Fisker is now out of business. Now, there are definitely companies that are out there that are doing good things in the EV space, but a lot of the big 3 manufacturers have had a rough time trying to sell EVs. Looking at you, Ford Mach-E and Dodge Charger thing. Because a lot of the people who are interested in buying something like that, they want the evocative, soul, rumbly, sounds, smells, experience kind of thing of an internal combustion vehicle. We don't necessarily just want to buy something because it's pretty and it gets us from point A to point B. We want to enjoy the experience. We want that. That's what we're here for. We don't want you to take it away from us. We want more of it. Especially if you're watching this channel. You're probably of the same mindset that I am. You like that kind of thing. I want more of that kind of thing. I want to be able to shift my own gears. For God's sakes. By the way, all of those wagons are manual transmissions. Obviously not a thing in the EV world. But it brings up an interesting conversation, and we just happen to have this in the parking lot. He came in to pick up his truck that we just did some work on. He has a diesel truck that we've done a lot of work on over the years, and he left this in the parking lot, and I figured this was an opportunity for me to talk about some EV stuff. I'm not an EV hater. I'll be honest. I'm not. I think they have a purpose. They have a niche that they can fit, especially in the commercial space. I think the idea of being able to electrify trucks for short haul and like regional type stuff, especially like around city delivery vehicles, perfect. Absolutely. Makes a ton of sense. You don't need to worry about, when you're idling, sitting in traffic, or you're sitting at a stoplight. There's no energy usage going on there. You're going to be parked at a lot of places. You're going to be parked at a cross dock, a loading dock, whatever, where you can recharge. Makes a ton of sense. This thing gets 400 miles on a tank, on a charge. A tank of gas. Gets 400 miles on a charge. Most of us don't drive more than 400 miles in a day. So if you live somewhere where you can charge the dang thing, you have almost no costs. And there goes another Tesla. You have almost no costs other than energy. And yeah, energy is maybe a little bit more expensive now than it used to be, but it's not much. You're going to have a $5 cost of operation versus a $50 cost of operation when you're driving around. Makes sense. It doesn't have the evocative spiritual, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just wanted to film something with this thing since I saw it sitting out here. It's a genuinely nice looking vehicle. I am a fan of it. It's just it's a shame that it's gone. I don't know. Maybe they're terrible vehicles. Maybe they just look really good, which would make sense if it's styled after a Range Rover. Those guys are kind of notorious for that too. Nifty vehicle. Feel bad for the owners though. Hopefully you guys get made whole and get out of these things without losing yourselves completely. Anyway, just a random automotive musing here on Automotive Adventures with Austin. This is my random corner of the YouTube internets. Obviously, my day job is in the hot rod race car, cool car, internal combustion world. But I like to have musings as well, and this just happened to be an opportunity that I didn't want to pass up. What do you guys think about the Fisker Ocean? What do you think about Fisker in general? What do you think about the EV world in general? Is it going to continue to grow? Is it going to fall apart? We've talked about this in the past with alternative fuels, with E85. These things have more charging options and more fueling options than by far E85 gas stations in this country. Is the EV infrastructure something that's going to continue to grow? Obviously, there's a political component to that whole conversation as well, which I don't really want to talk about because that's not really what this channel is all about. But there's something about that as well. Is the evolution, the EV, whatever the hell I want to say there, the EV revolution, going to be kaput? Is it going to be done? Is it going to be gone? We're going to be back towards rah internal combustion engines. And these things are all going to go by the wayside. And all the billions of dollars all of these companies have spent developing these products is just going to go poof, into thin air. I don't know. It's a conversation we can have. This is Automotive Adventures with Austin. This is my automotive musing section of Automotive Adventures with Austin. I do this sometimes. If you guys are interested in this kind of thing, this is not usually what I do, but normally it's me working on my own cars and having a good time and working on stuff that's I own. But if you can put up with me and my big bearded self, click on the subscribe button. It'd be great to see you again on another video. If you've been here before, if you watched other videos of mine, thank you guys so much. You guys watching my stuff is what helps me do more of this stuff. So thank you guys all so much for supporting me and helping me do what I'm doing. So that's how we're going to wrap this up. I got to get home. It's a beautiful day here in Central Ohio, and I'm going to go enjoy the rest of it. Take care. Bye-bye.